Have you ever sat in a meeting knowing the whole group was about to walk off straight off a cliff, but you just kept your mouth shut?
Oof, literally all the time.
Welcome back, Sunnies. This is Sunny English Bite, the podcast that perfectly blends psychology with your English learning journey. I'm your host, Sunny.
And I'm your co-host, Alex. Honestly, Sunny, it's like you're reading my mind with that opening question. Just the other day, during a team project, there was this totally garbage idea being passed around.
Let me guess what happened.
Everyone else loved it, and I felt way too awkward to be the only one to kill the vibe. So I just blurted out, yeah, sounds great, and I totally regretted it later. I felt like such a clown, and I was honestly just scared that if I spoke up, I'd look like the weird one.
Exactly. That exact fear is the terrifying side of mob mentality we're diving into today. It's this massive lie your brain tells you that forces you to go along with the crowd even when you know they're wrong. Today, we're going to unmask this fear and figure out how to protect our own independence.
Okay, I really need this. So where do we even start? Why are we so hardwired to just follow?
To answer that, we have to look at a legendary experiment from the 1950s by psychologist Solomon Asch. He designed the line judgment test to see just how easily people cave under peer pressure.
The line judgment test? How did that even work?
It's brilliantly simple. Participants sat in a room and were given an incredibly easy task. Look at 3 lines on a screen and pick the one that matched the length of the target line. The answer was literally obvious to anyone with eyes. Okay,
Sounds easy enough.
But the experiment had a secret catch. Only one person in the room was the actual subject. Everyone else was an actor working for Asch.
Oh no, I see where this is going. So the actors gave the wrong answer on purpose.
Precisely. For the first few rounds, everyone gave the right answer just to make things feel normal. But then the actors suddenly started insisting that a clearly incorrect line was the right one. Even if the answer was obviously line B, every single actor would confidently say it's line A, and the real subject had to give their answer last.
Wow, that gives me the chills just thinking about it. I'd be so incredibly confused, sweating, thinking my brain was broken.
In reality, most subjects felt an insane amount of psychological pressure. The results of Asch's study were absolutely shocking. A staggering 75% of participants caved and gave the wrong answer at least once. They knew the real answer, but they gave up their own judgment because they were terrified of being judged.
75%? That's wild. Honestly, I probably would have done the same thing. I'd be stuck thinking, wait, am I the crazy one here?
You are totally not alone. And Sunnies, there's a legit scientific reason why this happens. It is not all in your head.
Wait, for real? What do you mean by that?
In his fascinating book, Social: Why Our Brains Are Wired to Connect, neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman explains that our brains process social rejection, like standing out from the crowd, using the exact same neural pathways as physical pain.
Whoa, hold up. So disagreeing with the group actually registers as physical pain in our brain.
Exactly. When you go against the majority, your brain literally sounds an alarm like you're in physical danger. That is why conformity pressure just paralyzes our judgment and makes us agree with total lies.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. So we know the what and the biological why, but how do we actually fight it?
We can look to the wisdom of Austrian psychologist Alfred Adler. He famously said, "All problems are interpersonal relationship problems. We follow the crowd because we're terrified of being disliked, but Adler tells us to separate other people's tasks from our own tasks. What other people think of you is their task, not yours."
So you're saying we just need to stop caring so much about what people think. That is definitely easier said than done, though.
You're not wrong. It is not like you just flip a switch. It takes real practice. It's all about building the courage to speak up. And a great way to start building that courage is to have the right English phrases ready in your toolkit.
Ooh, I love the sound of that. A literal toolkit for disagreeing.
It is time for our signature segment, English Bite.
Let's get into it.
Okay, The first expression is I beg to differ. This is a classic, polite way to signal you have a different opinion. For example, I beg to differ, but I think the sales strategy needs a different approach.
Ooh, that sounds so polite, but still really firm. So if my friend said pineapple on pizza is the goat, I could say, I beg to differ, my friend. That is a literal culinary crime.
Spot on. Second is I see your point, but use this when you want to acknowledge their side before dropping your own take. For example, I see your point about cutting costs, but I really believe it might compromise quality.
That's so smart. It shows you are actually listening. Like, I see your point that we should go out, but I think staying in is a better call tonight.
Exactly. Third is let's agree to disagree. This is for when you realize you're at a total standstill and want to move on without a fight. For example, we clearly have different views on this. Let's just agree to disagree for now.
That one is a total lifesaver. It completely skips the unnecessary drama.
Fourth is I'm afraid I can't go along with that. This is more direct, used when you need to firmly decline. For example, I'm afraid I can't go along with that proposal because it just has too many risks.
That is a solid one for work. Strong, but still professional.
And finally, number 5, I'd like to offer an alternative perspective. This one's perfect for when you want to suggest a different angle in a constructive way. For example, before we lock this in, I'd like to offer an alternative perspective on the marketing campaign.
Oh man, if I have these ready to go, I'll feel so much more confident about speaking up. It feels way less like a confrontation and more like I'm actually making a contribution.
Exactly. That's the secret. Keep these phrases in your back pocket to protect your own independent thinking. The crowd isn't always right, and honestly, sometimes it just takes one brave voice to lead everyone in the right direction. Like Steve Jobs famously said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." We need the courage to break free from the group's thoughts and walk our own path.
One brave voice. I am totally here for that.
To wrap things up, the fear of mob mentality can really make us doubt ourselves, just like Solomon Asch's experiment and neuroscience have proven. But as Adlerian psychology teaches us, what other people think is their task, not yours. Find the courage to let your real voice be heard.
That is such a powerful reminder for all of us.
So, here is your challenge for the week, Sunnies. Think about a time this week where you felt that heavy pressure to just go along with the crowd. How did it make you feel? And if you were back in that spot, how would you want to act? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your honest stories will give so much courage to the rest of the Sunnies.
I am 100% sharing my story about that team project.
You are a beautiful soul with your own unique spark. Don't let yourself get lost in someone else's shadow. Let your light shine with confidence. Until next time, make good choices and stay happy. Bye, Sunnies.